You've started noticing it. The emails you write sound a little too clean. The ideas you pitch feel a little too familiar. The way you explain things now, it's sharper, but it doesn't quite sound like you anymore. You're not copying anyone, you're not being lazy, but somewhere between the prompt and the output, something shifted. This is about what happens when AI doesn't replace your thinking, it just smooths it. This video isn't about whether AI is good or bad. It's about what happens to originality when you optimize for efficiency. Because AI doesn't kill creativity, it averages it. And the more you rely on it, the harder it becomes to recognize your own voice. AI doesn't give you bad ideas. It gives you the most statistically reasonable ones. And that's the problem. When you ask AI for help, it pulls from patterns in language, structure, tone, style. It gives you what works most of the time, for most people, in most contexts. And because it works, you use it. But works and original are not the same thing. Average ideas feel safe because they've been tested by repetition. They don't surprise anyone. They don't require explanation. And that makes them incredibly seductive. Originality doesn't come from clarity. It comes from struggling toward it. When you think without AI, you hit dead ends. You write sentences that don't work. You explore ideas that go nowhere. That friction is uncomfortable, but it's also where your actual perspective lives. Because originality isn't about having better ideas than everyone else. It's about having ideas only you would have, because of how you got there. AI removes that process. It doesn't let you wander. It doesn't let you fail quietly. It gives you the shortcut. And shortcuts don't just save time. They skip the part where your thinking becomes distinct. AI answers questions you haven't finished asking yourself. Here's what happens. You start writing something. You're halfway through a thought. It's messy, but you're figuring it out. Then AI suggests the rest. And because the suggestion is coherent, you take it. But that suggestion closed the loop before you did. It finished your sentence. It completed your argument. It gave you resolution before you earned it. And when that happens repeatedly, you stop exploring. You start selecting. Not because you're lazy, but because rejecting a good enough answer takes more effort than accepting it. This is how thinking becomes passive. Because the moment a thought feels finished, the brain stops exploring it. You're not creating anymore. You're curating. When you rely on AI, your role shifts. You're no longer generating from scratch. You're evaluating what's been generated for you. And evaluation feels like thinking. You're making choices, adjusting tone, deciding what fits. But you're working inside a framework you didn't create. The options were already narrowed. The structure was already set. And the more you operate this way, the more your instinct for creation atrophies. Because creation and curation use different muscles. One builds from nothing. The other selects from something. And if you only practice one, the other fades. It's not that AI is replacing you. It's that you're starting to sound like it. This isn't about technology taking over. It's about something quieter. When you use AI regularly, you start internalizing its patterns, the way it structures arguments, the way it transitions between ideas, the way it sounds clear, confident, polished. And slowly, without noticing, you start writing that way too. Not because you're copying it, but because those patterns become your reference point. Your sense of what good sounds like starts aligning with what AI produces. And that's unsettling. Because the tool you use to express yourself slowly teaches you what expression is supposed to sound like. The solution isn't to stop using AI. It's to change when you use it. AI works best when your thinking is already formed. Use it to refine, not to generate. Use it to edit, not to explore. If you're still figuring out what you believe, don't ask AI yet. Write the messy version first. Struggle through the unclear part. Let your ideas be incomplete. Then once you know what you're trying to say, bring AI in. Let it clean up the structure. Let it sharpen the language. But don't let it do the thinking. Because what makes your work original isn't the polish. It's the uncertainty you work through to get there. AI doesn't make you less intelligent. It makes you less distinct. And the cost of that isn't dramatic, it's quiet. You'll still produce good work. You'll still sound competent. But over time, it becomes harder to tell where the AI ends and you begin. If that feels worth paying attention to, this channel explores how AI changes the way we think. Not just what we make. And once you hear the difference, it's very hard to go back.